And now, Suspense. Your host is Autolite, world's largest independent manufacturer of automotive electrical equipment. Autolite makes over 400 products for cars, trucks, tractors, airplanes, and boats in 28 plants from coast to coast. Autolite products include a complete line of ignition-engineered standard and resistor-type spark plugs, spark plug wire, distributor caps, generators, voltage regulators, and dependable stay-full batteries. Autolite products also include speedometers, windshield wipers, industrial wire and cable, fuel pumps, bullseye seal beam headlights, and horns. A complete line of original factory parts for Autolite-equipped cars. Autolite serves the greatest names in the industry. So, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite. Now, Autolite and its 98,000 dealers everywhere present Suspense.
Close down, you'll know about it. There'll be a lock on the door. Does anybody see a lock on the door? Huh? You're late, Webb.
You're early, Sam. What's the matter? Somebody dead?
You're a good-looking sight. A beauty. Is this the way you come in every morning, Webb? Stewed to the ears?
Yeah, that's right. Each and every morning.
Good. That's a consolation. Well, from here on in, you can get drunk on somebody else's money. What's the matter with him?
Kelly handed in a notice. She's giving up Sally Forth.
What?
Yeah, if you've got any job prospects, keep a good art man in mind, huh?
Yeah, sure.
You'll come up with something. Nothing worries Webb a few drinks can cure.
Sam, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Of course. I had no right to blow all that steam in your face. Here, Webb. Take a gander at this.
This doesn't make sense.
You read what the man said. Kelly has got a new idea for a strip. She's tired of Sally Forth. It only made her a reputation and a few millions to boot, and she's tired of it. Tired of it! Did you ever hear of anyone who gets tired of $1 million a year?
Well, she's playing a game, Sam. She just wants to see you on your knees, that's all. She wants all of us on our knees.
I'll tell you something, Webb. Every cent I own in the world is tied up in that doll out there. If she wants me to crawl, I'll crawl.
The queen of the comics came to deliver the kiss of death. I took a haircut, Kelly. I want to look nice and clean for the execution.
Good morning, boss. Webb.
Kelly?
Come on in, Kelly. I'd like to talk to you.
Sam, what I have to say, I'd like to say to the whole staff. I think that's only fair.
You're the boss, Kelly.
I'm not the boss at all, Sam. I do one of the comic books you publish. I'm just another cartoonist. Right, Ann?
We're dead without Sally Forth. You know that, Kelly.
Oh, be fair. Do you want to tie me up for life?
How much do you want for the strip?
You're talking money, Sam. That doesn't interest me. Don't complicate the issue. I'm retiring, Sally Forth. I'm tired of writing it.
Sell it to me. I'll find somebody else to write it.
I couldn't do that, Sam. Sally's mine. I couldn't dream of somebody else writing it.
Give us a fighting chance, all of us. Stay with us 6 months. 3. Maybe we'll come up with another idea to replace Sally.
I can't do it, Sam. I've carried you on my back for a long time. I'm tired.
You didn't do so bad.
You're talking money again, Sam. I told you that doesn't interest me.
Well, what does? Name it.
Kelly Davis. I was about to say that I recognize the possibility that some of you may be out of jobs very soon. I was about to say that, for old time's sake, I may be able to work some of you into a new book I'm starting. Apparently, nobody is interested.
Anything that might interest me, Kelly?
As a matter of fact, I wanted to talk to you, Webb. Yes, I think you might be quite interested. Call me, Webb. I'll be in all evening. Sam, when you close down, might I have this Sally Forth doll? For old time's sake.
You know, in a minute it starts coming out of your ears.
That's fine. I can rent myself out as a fountain.
Hi. Hello, Johnny.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Annie.
Well, 5 o'clock, Webb. You're taking me to the theater tonight.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. You bought tickets last week, and Johnny's lending you his car for this evening.
Excuse me.
Webb, you didn't forget.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I gotta see Kelly tonight on business. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll wind it up in a hurry, and then I'll meet you at my place, okay?
Webb, don't get mixed up with her.
That advice comes a little late.
What do you mean? Webb?
Здравствуйте, my fellow unemployed.
We're just leaving, Boris.
Oh, stay a moment.
I've heard all your stories, Boris. Now, if you don't mind, just...
I'm a good sport. Let's find a topic that should stimulate all of us. Try this for size. It's strange that a cartoon as full of good humor and social consciousness as Sally Forth be written by a humorless, sadistic witch like Kelly Davis. What do you say to that, Webb?
You got anything on your mind, Boris? Spill it.
You're no longer my boss, Mr. Wilson. I won't be talked to in that tone of voice. The copy is too weak, Boris. Punch it up, Boris. Develop this storyline, Boris. And Holmes made you his editor. A pathological drunk. In my mind, you're no more than a pathological drunk. Say?
No, just
Come on, break it up, Webb.
Come on, Webb, let's go, please.
That's right, Annie. Take Mr. Wilson in hand. Tuck him in bed. Watch him.
Shut up, Boris.
I know your secret, Webb. I made it my business to know everybody's little secret. When you killed your lieutenant in Okinawa, were you drunk that night?
Please, Webb! Johnny, I'm worried. When it gets like this, it frightens me.
Did you say scotch? Let me see, you take it with soda?
I said nothing for me.
I thought you were kidding. Sorry, Webb, bum joke.
Forget it. You were telling me about your new comic strip. That's a wonderful idea, Kelly. It's great.
Don't be ironic. What if it is your idea? I sold the idea. If they bought anything, they bought me, Kelly Davis.
I could sue you, Kelly.
Oh. You told me that the idea was strictly in your head. You didn't have a word on paper. Be smart, Webb. The idea is already sold. I'm offering you a job. You can write the script. And for more money than you ever dreamed of with Sam.
You're a cute girl, Kelly. Here's to you, girl.
I'm not cheap, Webb. You'll be very well paid, much better than you expect. Hello? Excuse me, Webb?
Sure, go right ahead. I'll make myself at home.
No, don't be an idiot, really now. Oh, so there's something in the files. Well, I have a file too, dear boy. And when you think of file, think of jail. Taxes, dear boy, I don't think you paid them. Now, where were we?
Is somebody else you're chiseling?
I'm really not interested in what you think of my ethics. Just do you work for me or no?
Work for you. We were talking about an idea you stole from me.
Prove that.
Is this your routine, Kelly? Did you steal Sally Forth, too?
Get out.
Is that it, Kelly? Huh? Whose brain did you use for that one? Who was it? I won't get on. I want to talk. Who was it, Kelly?
Get out of here, you crazy drunk.
Good evening. This is Rex Marshall for Autolite. We'll get back to our suspense story in just a moment. Say, while we take this little intermission, I'd like to show you kind of a museum piece. Would you like to see it? It's right over here. You recognize this? Well, if you do, you and I aren't quite so young, Maggie. This, you see, is the kerosene headlamp from a 1910 automobile. You know, the point of my showing it to you is to remind you, and myself too for that matter, that if it weren't for the electrical system in our modern automobiles, you and I might still be kind of creeping along through the dark with just a couple of these things flickering on the front of the car. As a matter of fact, it really is amazing how much of our modern motoring would be impossible if it weren't for that electrical system. In fact, if you take a look right over here, I'll show you what I mean. You see, when you get in your car, when you turn on the ignition switch, press the starter button, when you light your lights, sound your horn, play your radio, use your electric windshield wiper, even when you light a cigarette, you're using electricity produced and stored in your car by the electrical system, such as Autolite designs and builds for many of America's finest cars. These electrical systems include parts such as the Autolite starting motor, the battery, the generator, and the generator regulator. They also include the ignition coil, the distributor, and of course, the Autolite spark plugs. These units and all their thousands of component parts are related like a team by Autolite engineering design and manufacturing skill to give your Autolite-equipped car the smoothest performance money can buy. This perfect balance and coordination in the functioning of every unit and component part is possible only because of Autolite engineering research and control, and because Autolite specialists work closely with the engineers of many of our leading car manufacturers who specify Autolite products as original equipment. Now, because the electrical system is so important to the smooth, efficient, and economical operation of your car, it'll pay you to have it checked occasionally by ignition specialists who have been trained under Autolite supervision. Pay a visit to your car dealer or your authorized Autolite service station. You'll find his name listed in the classified section of your telephone directory under the heading Automobile Electrical Service, or you can find it by calling Western Union by number and asking for operator 25. Remember, won't you, it'll pay you to pay a call on the men who are specialists in the ignition system of your car. And at the same time, remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite. And now, the second act of The Crooked Frame, starring Richard Kiley and Neva Patterson.
Well, I think we missed the show. You've been with Kelly all this time? Called her apartment about a half dozen times. Where did Sue go? The problem, what happened?
I don't know.
How did it happen?
I don't know.
Webb, how did it happen? I don't know.
And now for 5 minutes of news. Kelly Davis, creator of the world-famed comic strip Sally Forth, was found dead in her East Side penthouse apartment early this morning. The police are now conducting an investigation and report that an early solution is expected. On the international...
Get out! Get out! Straight, run!
I killed her.
You couldn't.
This makes it official, Annie. There was no mistake on Okinawa. I killed Rogers, too.
Stop it, Webb.
Did I ever tell you about Lieutenant Rogers,
Now,
Annie?
please, Webb, not now.
I shot him in the back.
You didn't. You know the facts. The army knew the facts. They didn't even try you. You were trying to stop him. He panicked and ran into enemy fire. You were trying to save him and your platoon. Webb, darling, you've got to think hard. Every step since you left that bar, you've got to tell me what happened.
I can't remember.
You went to Kelly's apartment. Webb, you went to Kelly's apartment.
Yes, I went to Kelly's apartment. And... yeah, we argued about... and I remember she started yelling something. And I wanted to shut her up. I wanted to stop the sound of her voice, so I grabbed her. Passed out.
Hard, Webb. Think hard. You were with her. Was she meeting anyone? Expecting anyone? Were there any phone calls?
Yeah, there was a phone call. I remember thinking something about Boris. I remember thinking that Boris was right in what he said. That whoever Kelly was talking to on the phone had been used by her to write Sally Forth. Just as she was trying to use me.
What else, darling?
And then she said something about a prison. And filing your way into prisoners. File. Does Kelly have a file in her office?
Yeah, behind Johnny's desk in the art department.
Well, that's Johnny's file, isn't
Well, I
it?
think Kelly used it too.
It's crazy. It doesn't make sense.
It's our only lead. You've got to start somewhere.
I guess you're right. This place will be swarming with police by tomorrow.
Go on, Webb.
Look, Annie. Do something for me.
Yes, darling, anything.
Get Johnny on the phone. Tell him to park his car out in front of the office.
It's foolish, Webb. You can't run.
I don't intend to. Not now. But if there's nothing in that file, I don't know how I'll be feeling. Look, Annie. When it stops ringing, call Johnny. Tell him I need that car. I need it bad. Annie, in case I don't get the chance to say it. Well, if sometimes it's looked like I don't appreciate you. It's not the way it looked. Doing here?
Yeah, Annie called. She said you were in trouble. You wanted the car.
Oh.
Well, there's nothing in there, Webb.
How do you know?
It's my file. I looked. I said there was nothing in there, Webb. Hey, look. How about a quick drink, huh? You know, you got to get out of here. The car's downstairs.
Let's have the key to that file, Johnny. There's something in there you didn't want anybody to see, Johnny? Something about Sally Forth? Was she your idea, Johnny? Did Kelly steal it from you and then pay you to write it?
It works, Webb. It works just fine.
I'm no good to you, dead, Johnny. You ever think of that?
Think of everything, Webb. Really, I do. I hadn't figured it quite this way, but there you were in Kelly's apartment, passed out. Who else to pin it on? Who else? Funny how fast your mind can work. Sit down, Webb. Sit down. I want you to write something for me.
Look, you don't think I'm going to write my own obituary, do you?
I think so, Webb. I think you should. I don't want to kill you, Webb, but it's the only way now. Now, right. Early this evening, I, Webb Wilson, shot Kelly Davis. You must know that I killed once before. And for 5 years, this has been preying on my conscience.
It's uncomfortable.
Shut up!
That thing goes off before I finish.
Don't kid yourself, Webb. It's a closed case. Suicide note, psycho drunk. It'd go fine even without your signature.
Now do it now, Johnny. I'm tired of writing.
Don't get up, Webb. You don't want to live, do you?
You missed your chance, Johnny. It's too late now. It's got to be in the temple. You can't afford it anywhere else. Suicide means in the temple. I don't think you can shoot that well in the dark, Johnny.
You don't want to live, do you? You just want to play games. Look, I had to hit him, Annie. He was going to kill himself. Kelly stole an idea from him. Oh, he left a note. Yeah, that's a note. He left this note.
What about you, Johnny? And her? What about the $20,000 she's been paying you? You forgot to mention that little item in your income tax. Kelly had it all laid out, nice and neat in her safe.
Just like you, Kelly. Haven't you had enough?
Haven't you had enough? Take him away. You say where we can get in touch with you.
Fuzzy, what happened anyway?
Webb, I called Johnny. I told him what had happened. You know, he acted funny, so calm, so ready to accept you as a murderer. I decided to call the police. I was sure of you, Webb.
I know.
Come on, let's go get some breakfast, huh? We never really knew her, did we? Sweet little Sally Forth. She killed them both. Almost killed you.
Come to the end of another story of Suspense, brought to you by Autolite. In just a moment, I'll tell you the title of our story for next week and the names of the three very fine actors who will play the leading roles. Before I do that, however, I'd like to remind you drivers that you can be sure of getting Autolite original factory parts for your Autolite-equipped car at your nearest authorized Autolite service station, which displays this sign. And you'll find his name listed in the classified section of your telephone directory under the heading Automobile Electrical Service. Or simply call Western Union by number and ask for Operator 25. You can also be sure of getting Autolite original factory parts from the dealer who sells your make of car, and at any garage or repair shop displaying this sign. So, wherever you get them, just make sure you see the word Autolite and original for original factory parts. Because remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite. Next week, our play will be Death Cargo, starring Anthony Ross, Robert Keith Jr., and Paul Langton. A story well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Fun, Burns and Allen on the CBS Television Network.